Hello again, everybody, and welcome back to the newest episode of Semi-Pro. I am here with Josh Clements and Daniel Savage as we embark on this journey of watching the death of the Incredible Hulk.
Man, I wish I was the Incredible Hulk.
It's been a long ride. By that I mean I've seen one Hulk movie.
Yeah, I watched one and then... Now we're back!
And now we're back.
I hate you guys because every single time I have to mute myself because I forget that you're going to talk through the intro music.
How are we supposed to know you're doing intro music, man?
Because we do it every time we record this.
Yeah, well,
podcast.
like I said, we haven't recorded in like months.
Yeah, it's been years.
And usually you mute us for the intro music because of that exact reason.
Because you know that we're problematic.
Yeah, you knew what you were getting into with this. You know me.
It's been like 3 weeks, I think. 3 weeks. Yeah, it's been 3 weeks. It's fine.
Yeah,
It's fine. Well, it's a good time.
it's not the longest break we've taken.
No.
We are we're a week out from She-Hulk ending, so
Right. It works out the way we intended.
Yeah,
it was all part of the plan.
it's all part of the plan.
Right, it's all
Yeah.
part of the plan for sure.
Jamie,
sure.
can you start playing God's Plan by Drake?
So tonight we're talking
I mean,
about...
you start playing Mr. Bombastic by Shaggy. Sorry, by Norville.
Nah, don't call him by his government name. So today we're talking about the death of the Incredible Hulk, even though our thumbnail that Josh made, that we can't go back on now because we've already started this episode, still says The Incredible Hulk Returns because he didn't change the title. We're talking about the death of the Incredible Hulk.
Actually, we're gonna watch The Bride of the Incredible Hulk.
we titled it as Death of the Incredible Hulk. We have the splash page say Incredible Hulk Returns, and then we watch The Bride. Keep them guessing.
We'll talk about Bride of the Incredible Hulk a little bit in our actual discussion because that's a very interesting story, probably more interesting than this movie's going to be. I have no hope for this one, maybe a little more hope than I'm letting on because Who's the actor? Bill Bixby. Bill Bixby directed.
Yeah, Brett tried to sneak Bill Bixby in there.
He directed the better of the two Hulk movies we've seen so far in this 70s Hulk movie sweep. And the one that he didn't direct was garbage. But after watching that one, I'm not super excited to continue this, which is why it took us 3 weeks to get around to actually doing it.
Thing is, I think... I don't know how much of Trial of the Incredible Hulk was good because of Bill Bixby's direction and how much was just we all really love Daredevil and really like seeing Daredevil.
Yeah, but the story was done so well. And I get he didn't write it. But
what do you think any part of it was also like your expectations weren't exactly, high for it?
Well, you didn't see
it. Mine were. I had pretty high expectations for Trial, and all of those expectations were met.
Yeah, Trial was great. Returns was dookie.
Returns was not.
Returns was really bad.
I'm glad I missed that one.
So I'm excited to see how deaths. I keep reading it on the screen because I can see it while we're recording. I'm excited to see how death stacks up. I'm going to assume that Hulk dies in this movie. They kind of spoiled that.
No, he wouldn't.
But we're gonna go and watch it now, and then when we come back here in just a few seconds for you, we will have watched the full movie. I am personally not at all.
Page will probably change to something a bit more appropriate.
It won't actually. We can't stop it without stopping the whole recording. Personally, I am not looking forward to this a ton. I'm very curious to hear you guys. Are you looking forward to it? Not looking forward to it? Where you stand?
I don't know. I think it'll be cool to see Hulk. All right, just cut to the part where we're miserable at this movie.
All right, everybody, welcome back. We have not finished the movie. We are right at the end. We've got about 10 minutes left. So right now what we're going to do is we're going to give our predictions as to how the Incredible Hulk is going to die in this movie. My personal prediction is that he is going to fall to his own death. Daniel, you go next.
I feel like I've been here for 3 hours. What was the question?
How is the Hulk going to die? How is the Incredible Hulk going to die in the death of the Incredible Hulk?
I think prostate cancer.
Interesting choice, Josh.
No, it's got to be radiation of some kind. Anything else, I really believe, or just general explosion.
Explosion or radiation. Cool.
There's some combination of both. Maybe, I don't know.
What was the question?
How is the Incredible Hulk going to die in the death of the Incredible Hulk?
Yeah. I think it's going to be pretty simplistic. I think it would be like he gets the radiation treatment and loses the Hulk, and then takes a stab for Black Widow.
Yeah, or like a bullet or something.
Yeah, like self-sacrifice.
Interesting. So you're going, he is cured. So that's the death of the Incredible Hulk.
I feel like there's not enough time to cure him, though.
Yeah, that's my thought as well. All right, we got about 10 minutes left. We're going to pause it here, and then we will be back in just a few moments to chat about the death of the Incredible Hulk.
Oh, hey, we're back.
All right, and welcome back. I was right, Daniel was right, Josh was incorrect, and that's all that matters.
True.
Facts.
Yeah.
Josh will not say a word because he was wrong.
He's mad.
He's so mad. We'll get into that. We'll explain later what actually happened in the death of the Incredible Hulk. But spoiler alert, the Hulk dies.
I may have been.
Whoa, come on.
However,
man.
I'm also going to ascertain that Dalton was wrong just out of spite.
You know what? In the
All right, everybody, we've already broken down half of the plot because I forgot to hit record. We'll get to who won the bet at the end of this episode. Josh is going to break down the plot, starting from the very beginning.
Speed run the plot up until wherever we were.
Plot speed run, here we go.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry both to my podcasting partners and the listening audience for forgetting to start the recording.
Just apologize to Josh. He's the one really suffering.
I went to check the time to see how much time we had left because I was like, man, we're taking a minute with this plot. I was like, it's still paused.
Right. Speed run.
All right, let's go.
Let's do it. How do we open this movie?
Any percent.
David Banner is now hiding out as a janitor in a science museum where he is keeping an eye on a professor that he based all of his work off when he became Hulk, who is writing up a formula that could possibly fix his condition. But the issue is the professor isn't writing it properly. So David Banner works as a janitor who has a good relation with the professor who gets carrot cake sometimes.
I don't think it was a museum.
It wasn't. It's a science laboratory, but nonetheless, he has a good professor. He has a good relationship with the professor and gets offered carrot cake sometimes that maybe or maybe not a rock. And, after hours, he goes back for his thermos and actually goes to fix the professor's equations and formulas that could lead to a cure for the Hulk that he is looking for.
Oh, that's what the thermos was for.
Yeah, I just
I just made that connection. Way to go, Josh!
Look at you on top of things.
Following
it should be noted really quickly before Josh gets any further with this plot. Me and Daniel were checked out for this whole movie. Josh was only checked in because he knew he had to break down the plot.
Well, I knew one of us had to break down the plot, and I knew you two weren't.
I told you at the very beginning that it was you. Like, you knew that this was going to be you, so you watched this movie intently.
Well, okay, let's not say intently. Okay, so he tries to fix the professor's formulas so that he could become Hulkins. One day after going to work, he goes to cash a paycheck where he talks to Lou Ferrigno's wife, Carla Ferrigno, and he cashes in this paycheck, gets some money, follows a guy into a dark alleyway where the guy goes, "Hey, I want some money," and he goes, "Here's some money." He goes, "No, I want all of your money because I don't want to work, and you work." So he gives him the money, but it's fake money. And then as they jump David Banner and throw him into some shit, he hulks out and then goes to fight them, and he pushes them into dumpsters that they rolled in front of him like some kind of old gag.
Like Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Right, like Who Frames Roger Rabbit?
Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
This is me and Daniel making this observation right now. Nobody else has made this observation at all at any point in this discussion. It's just like Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Completely original. Yeah.
I can't wait to get paid my 3 pence for this, please.
Josh, your pay has been docked.
No, wait.
So at the same time that all this is happening, there is a Eastern European spy called Jasmin who is working for a man that looks like both Fidel Castro and Che Guevara mixed into one.
Correct. It's Jasmin, not Jasmine.
Her name is short Jasmin, who is working for a man called Zed, which is the English version of how Americans say the letter Z. And then
we didn't mention this the last time we weren't recording. That is only pronounced Z in American because of the alphabet song. That's something we all collectively learned while watching this movie.
Yes, I want to.
So bored while watching this movie that we got into an entire discussion about that, and then Dalton looked it up.
Yes,
it is only because of that, because the guy who wrote the alphabet song in 1835, which who would have thought it was written all the way back then? He just needed to rhyme it with me. So yeah. Pretty cool, pretty fun alphabet.
Yeah, because it would sound like.
Go ahead.
It would say Y and Z. Now I know my ABCs. Next time, won't you sing with Med? It just doesn't make any sense. So he changed it to Z so that it would rhyme with me.
It also rhymes with C better, which works too, is ABCs. So really, I think it was meant to be.
Yeah, it definitely works better. Like it flows better. It feels more like a letter.
Shout out to whoever wrote the alphabet song. You a real one for that.
His name is Robert.
I also like to say that
is that it? Does he not have a last name?
Hold on, I'm looking it up.
It's like Beyonce.
I'm looking it up.
Yeah, it's just Robert.
I'd also like to say that the reason it's pronounced
Beyonce has a last name. It's Knowles. She doesn't just have one name.
What does she not?
When I googled who wrote the ABC song, the Jackson 5 came up.
Yeah, all the way back in 1985.
And shout out to the Jackson 5.
Shout out to the Jackson 5 for not letting Michael Jackson's balls drop or whatever.
Charles Bradley.
So not
Robert.
Not Robert.
No, not even a little bit. I don't know where I came up with that. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I just made it up on the spot. Like just now. I'm pretty sure I just said Robert something. Just assuming that it would be a Robert when I Googled it.
I mean, it was a pretty good guess.
Thanks. Appreciate you. His name was Charles.
Yeah.
All right, Josh. Now continue with the plot of The Incredible Hulk dies or whatever this movie is about.
So, this movie was originally going to be an Iron Man spin-off, then it was going to be a She-Hulk spin-off, then it was going to be a Black Widow spin-off, and they ultimately settled on making it a Black Widow spin-off rip-off. So, there's a Eastern European spy called Jasmin, who's doing work for Fidel Castro, who is doing work for another guy.
Her name's Jasmin, by the way.
Yeah, he said it that time.
I know.
Okay.
And
also they're working for someone named Zed.
Right, which is the British version of Z, which is not pronounced Z.
Right, but also surprisingly is not how we got on.
No, the whole Zed conversation
unrelated.
Yeah,
which is really weird.
It's so odd. We were having that discussion before we knew that his name was Zed.
Right, I think before the character had even been introduced.
Right, no, this was before we started watching the movie.
I think it was like in that 13 minutes.
Yeah, I think it was in the longest 13 minutes of existence.
Yeah.
Either way, because this 13 minutes feels longer to me as I'm trying to explain the rest of this movie so I can go to sleep.
What's hilarious is to the listening audience, this episode has been going on for 13 minutes.
Whoa.
Very, very meta. We're very She-Hulk in this.
That's a very M. Night Shyamalan twist.
I don't think that's a twist.
Twist. This episode is bad. It's not a twist.
I think this is the best episode yet.
So,
do you guys remember when we changed the letter Z or the letter Z to Z simply because we needed it to rhyme in a song here in America?
I'd like to point out that it's Z pretty much everywhere else because everywhere else got their alphabet.
Everywhere else.
Everywhere else got the alphabet off of the Greek alphabet where it's pronounced Zeta, and then they went to French, which is
Okay,
pronounced Z.
but Josh, how do you sing the alphabet song?
It's a good point.
Josh, sing it for me real quick.
Go ahead, sing it for me.
Josh, go ahead, sing the alphabet song for me real
Come on,
quick.
next time, won't you sing with me?
Next time, won't you
Won't
sing
you?
with who?
Med? Okay, so this movie, we watched a movie, and Che Guevara's in it, and so is Black Widow. And the MCU stole Black Widow from this movie.
Did we talk about that in this episode? Or the one that we
I don't
canceled?
I don't remember.
In case we already didn't, they stole the plot of Avengers Age of Ultron from this movie. All right, Josh.
And also the plot of Black Widow, making... I mean, we don't know that that her sister was meant to also be a Black Widow, but I'm going to say that in the original cut of this, where it was really Black Widow...
Was.
Yeah, it was supposed to be a second Black Widow.
So basically, she's doing one last espionage piece of work so that she can save her sister, who she's been told is kidnapped. So she goes to the bar and steals a guy's fingerprint so that she can sneak into the lab where David Banner.
Yeah, she tricks me. She tricks me with a fake wig. She got me. I don't know if I talked about that in this recording or not yet, but
everything's blown into one.
Yeah. Dalton's lost it.
Man, Dalton's gone. I don't know if I've ever heard Dalton laugh.
It sounds like a fake laugh. That makes me think he's doing a bit, but I know he's just unhinged.
I know that.
I'm currently suffocating because I can't stop laughing.
I know it's just because the mass hysteria from Dalton recording like half an hour's worth of footage and then realizing he hasn't recorded a single second.
It was only 10 minutes. All right, so Daniel, so she's wearing a wig, and you thought it was a different character.
I did, yeah, because I hadn't looked at Xenia on the top that closely. Although I can't really blame it on that, because then it got me again when I thought
it got you again when you thought that Betty Brant was the same person.
Yeah, it's Betty Ross, except because she's just some secretary named Betty.
I need you guys to stop being funny because I can't stop.
I've never heard that.
I'm dying here. There's physical pain going on. Ooh.
What about the part where he offers in carrot cake on?
Nah, that wasn't that funny.
That's pretty funny, I think.
All right, so she's in a wig, and she goes to the bathroom, and she takes off the wig.
And she takes the guy's fingerprint at the time.
Right, she sticks her fingers inside of a cup, all funny.
Not because of a cup, she slices the guy's finger off and steals it.
Right.
She holds the cup funny. She holds
does.
the cup on the inside and then takes the fingerprint from the outside. She kind of looks like she's doing the stereotypical Italian hand inside the cup.
Right.
Correct.
And then she looks like a security guard in the laboratory where David works with the professor, who knows that David has been the one fixing his formula. So he's working with David to cure him of his Hulkness.
Right, but don't forget the computer. Where he says that I am nobody.
He asks the computer, who is David Banner? And the computer, instead of saying David Banner doesn't exist, he just goes, I do not exist.
Okay, no, that's
David Banner types that, Josh. What are you saying?
The one that typed that out.
It was a chat room, which they also stole for the Incredible Hulk, the movie with Edward Norton.
It wasn't a chat room. It was like something programmed in the computer where the scientist, Dr.
Chris Pratt. They didn't.
Shut up.
Doctor Who?
Okay, so Dr. Chris Pratt, the actor who played Mario.
Mushroom
goes,
Kingdom.
Mushroom Kingdom.
Mushroom Kingdom.
Here we go.
This is the worst episode of this podcast by far.
I think it's the best.
So Xenia breaks into Chris Pratt's office to steal the formula, as they're doing like some weird experiment to get rid of the Hulk.
How far into this movie are we at this point?
Like 13 minutes.
And then Chris Pratt sees her and he goes, "It's a me, a Mario."
Okay, so at some point, I don't know where we are in the. Dr. Chris Pratt is talking to his wife and saying, "Oh, this guy's been helping me. Should I turn him in?" And she's like, "Oh, but if he's helping you, you shouldn't turn him in." And then he goes and he finds out that it's David Banner, and he's like, "Oh, David Banner, I remember you. Something happened to you. You got turned into some kind of Incredible Hulk or something."
David Banyan.
He's like, "Yeah, it's me."
David
Right, it's
Banyan.
me. It's me.
This is about how far we got in the original recording, just by
And
the way,
then-
folks.
Well, okay, so then after that, he tries to fix him with like a giant torture device.
Oh yeah, he has a comical like blue lightning force field around him.
That's like test the creature, and he shadow boxes it.
Yeah, Lou Ferrigno has the worst body acting ever, and if he has to pretend to punch something that doesn't exist, and he just like slightly extends his fist.
No, he has to pretend to punch one that doesn't exist, and they told him to do it in slow motion.
Right? Yeah. Dalton just checked out.
Dalton's
He's
gone.
gone.
My man is gone.
I'm thinking about him just punching nothing, and he just so very slightly moves his arm.
And then
Just keep going. Just go on without me. I'll be back in a minute.
then after that, they put him in another torture device where it like swings him around on a chair, and he has like an Iron Man head.
I think that was the same torture device.
Yeah, I
wasn't
think
it?
No,
you've
no,
got him
that's a different
backwards, Josh.
No,
I
that's
think,
a different.
I think first he was on the Assassin's Creed Animus chair.
No, because he's in the Assassin's Creed Animus one when the Black Widow spy breaks in.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, no,
He's
you're
in the Star Wars laser grid.
right. And then
he's
yeah,
in that so that they
he
could
gets
like
a
see
cut.
the Hulk.
Yeah, and he gets a cut on his back, which they focused on for some reason. I
Yeah,
guess that was
it's a
set up
cut on the
for him
back to
being
prove
able
that
die.
like it's to prove that like even though Hulk is a separate thing, the idea still works and he can still heal from stuff easily.
So it was the opposite of a setup for him to die. It was showing that he couldn't die.
Yeah, it was showing that he couldn't die, so that they could go off and move him.
Cool. Gotcha. Makes sense.
Then he puts him in like a giant chair that swings around,
Right.
and lasers him a little bit.
It shoots the worst looking laser into his brain.
and the Black Widow spy breaks in by impersonating the security guard, then running at the security guard, knocking her out.
Admittedly, this scene had one of the best little bits of wordplay in at least this movie, where one of the other security guards goes, "Betty, I thought you were supposed to be at the front door." And she goes, "I am at the front door." And then it cuts to her walking to the front door, and the real Betty's there, and she like chloroforms her. That was pretty clever, I think.
Yeah, and then the guy comes down the corner and he's like, "Oh, it's you, Betty, the woman I've worked with every day for the last 4 years that looks ever so slightly different now."
Okay, admittedly, I thought that she was the real Betty, when it showed her in the blonde wig, because both had
That's
like, the
because
most
you have
generic
no
looking
idea
woman face.
what this woman is supposed to
Yeah.
look like.
No,
Every
you-
single time she puts on a wig, you think she's someone else, Daniel.
Yeah, because she's just got one of those faces, man. Okay,
she's the
all right.
she's the
You
comedian,
argued with
remember?
us for moments, legitimate seconds, about the fact that this was actually Betty, and then she tackled
you-
real Betty, and you still kept the argument going.
No, do you not remember them calling her a comedian?
They did. They name dropped Chameleon. This was a Spider-Man movie.
So she goes in to steal that, but that brings Hulk out, and he puts the professor into a coma.
He puts the pussy in a coma. And then was this when we had the Kool-Aid Man scenes of him like smashing through the wall?
No, that was in the
Was
very
that later
opening
or
of the
earlier?
movie. That was like the opening scene where we established that he's the Hulk.
No, then I think then after
Well, there was
that,
the
it
Kool-Aid
was-
Man
it was-
scene, and the walls, styrofoam walls in this were a lot better than they were in Trial.
They were
Yeah.
singing so much
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
I know that because I've not seen Trial.
Well, in that movie,
Yeah.
they were literally pieces of styrofoam.
Like it was
like you
straight
can
up
see
styrofoam.
the
And
little floaties coming
focused
off
on
of
it.
them.
Like they had a close up shot of what was obviously
Oh.
styrofoam. Yeah, it was rough.
The brick one in this looked good. Like he jumps through a brick wall at
It
one
was
point.
super
and
good. Yeah, and it had like the brick like actually crumbling and tumbling and falling and other
that was
synonyms.
great. That was great. After the scene where the professor gets put into a coma, he runs away, and as Banner outruns a truck. which
You
is-
skipped ahead for like 45 minutes.
No, it's nothing. Happened.
Admittedly, yeah, I wasn't there for that. So that seemed
No,
like
that's-
perfectly normal plot continuation for me.
It's not. The scene
that is it.
where he runs away from the trucks is after him and Black Widow are a couple.
No, because he
No,
jumps
no,
out.
Yeah,
he runs away from the lab. No, he runs away from the lab, gets chased by the
yeah.
guys that Black Widow is working
Yeah.
for.
And
then-
that's when they become a couple because she gets shot, and then they go to the cabin, and then Age of Ultron
But
stole
she-
this plot point.
She
No,
doesn't
but
get
that's
shot
not the
until the gas station, right?
No, but that's
Yeah,
that's the
but they're
gas
not
station.
a couple. They're not a couple at that point.
No,
Mm.
that's
They're not-
the scene
they
where
don't
she
become
gets
a couple
told.
until after he sews her up with a fishing hook.
That's the scene where she gets told that her sister, who she thought was kidnapped, is just another spy.
Yeah, that's when Che
But the
Guevara Fidel
doctor-
Castro dies.
Main doctor is
Yeah,
in the
Dr.
hospital.
Chris Pratt.
Dr.
Yeah,
Chris
then the
Pratt is
doctor's
in the hospital.
because
He's in a
he's in a coma. Because Chris Pratt got bullied too much for beating Mario.
Right?
Mushroom Kingdom.
Then so David Banner's in the hospital and he makes a bunch of fart jokes to try and cheer up Dr. Pratt.
That scene wasn't meant to be in the movie. That was just unscripted.
that was just Bill Bixby making fart jokes.
And then him and Jasmine spend time at a cabin where they fall in love, and she strips naked so that he could sew up a wound.
Right. Yeah, and this was I got the order. This was before he's in the hospital because then when
Right,
he's in the hospital is when he has the drippy cardigan.
Mhm.
Oh,
or he takes a pic with Cardi B inside of it.
A
I'm not
cardigan
sure about all that.
so drippy that I literally went on Amazon while we were watching it and ordered one that looked like it. Like that's how drippy.
This is
I spent
true.
$40 on a cardigan because I saw it in this movie and liked it so much.
Like I know it's blurred on the splash page, but is that the cardigan in the in that picture for on the
no, I
splash?
don't think
It's
so.
possible, but I think that's supposed to be like a doctor's jacket.
That's but it could be the cardigan because the cardigan did kind of look like a doctor's
and he also
coat.
snapped a picture of Cardi B in it.
That is true. I did hear that.
Right.
Cardi B
Then-
is on my cardigan. Please don't right. They call me Builder,
then they-
Mr. Builderman. I just want to get away with Ninja Plumbers in my Fortnite land. Please don't right. They call me Builder, Mr. Builderman.
I hope your cardigan gets stolen. Then what happens after all this? Oh, the doctor gets kidnapped. I remember that.
Yeah, well, there was the cracked little the hospital after making fart jokes, and he opens up his cardigan and there's just like a bandage there for no reason, and he puts that on.
Yeah, he puts it on his
eye.
eyeball.
And then he gets into a wheelchair and Famke
And
Janssen
mocks
is
disabled
dressed
people.
up as the-
Can we just
as
call
a
her?
nurse.
Can we just call her Black Widow? To
She's
make it
Black
easier on
Yeah,
everyone.
but I'm gonna continue calling her whatever the first thing to pop into my head is, and that's either gonna be Famke Janssen or Xenia Onatopp. I'm sorry, I can't help it.
I'm sorry, women who played Jasmin in Death of the Incredible Hulk.
I'm sorry. I looked up her name, but I already forgot it. It was like Susie something. I'm sorry, Susie. My bad.
her name is
Elizabeth Grayson. I was
Susan something.
Okay, I got the Z. There's a Z. That's closer than Dalton. It's just Robert. I'm sorry, Elizabeth Grayson, for calling you Famke Janssen. But it is a compliment because Famke Janssen is a beautiful woman.
Was Robert in this one or
and
the previous recording? Do we need to explain?
I don't know. It doesn't matter.
If you're just now tuning in, we have been discussing who wrote
No, we have
the
not. We have not been
alphabet
discussing
song.
anything.
Discussing a single thing.
I don't think we got to the bottom of who wrote the British version of the alphabet song, and if they
I
sang a
don't think
version
there
of
is a
it or
British
not.
version of it.
We're just singing with the Z.
But then
So
how do you
not,
end
do
it?
you not have? Yeah, do you not have next time won't you sing with me?
I never did.
Wow, that's
That
sad.
sucks. Yeah, man.
All right,
no wonder British people are so depressed. Okay, movie plot points things happen. Where are we? Okay, in the hospital. He's in the wheelchair. He has the drippy cardigan, fake eye patch. They leave. They get into a car that they steal from one of the government agents.
Once again, the
From
cardigan is so
unspecified
drippy that I
government
went on
agency.
Amazon and ordered another version of it.
Correct. Unspecified government agency. Other agents come after them, chase them in car, surround them in like a junkyard with a bunch of forklifts or cranes or scooper things, whatever. Then they crush them, but then he hulks out, and it shows his eyes, and they're green with the Hulk contact lenses, and then.
Which we
Catches
discussed. Are they
things.
just contact lenses or are they a special effect?
Yeah, I
Josh
think- I
said they
think
were a
we-
light.
I think we agreed that it's a combination of a green contact lens that's also like reflective and has some sort of like ring light or something in front of it to make it glow more, as well as maybe a little digital touching up.
Yeah. Or they did
But-
none of that and it just looks cool.
Maybe that's just what Bill Bixby's eyes look like. Who knows?
You mean Lou
Maybe-
Ferrigno, right?
No, because he has them as Bill Bixby in this scene. That's what I was saying. Because it shows just Bill Bixby with the Hulk eyes, which I thought was really cool.
That was correct.
Yeah. But anyways, he catches the forklift scooper and stops it, and then he gets down, and it's just stopped midair. And then
yeah, I forgot about that.
this is when we really realized that Age of Ultron stole the Black Widow Hulk love
Right,
interest.
I looked it up. That's not a thing in the comics. It was never a thing apparently before like Age of Ultron. But given that
except for in this movie,
even though it doesn't feature Black Widow, it's just it's like
it's
She
Black
is
Widow,
so
like-
very clearly
Yeah.
Black Widow. Yeah.
right.
right. It's Grey Widow.
Sure.
It's dark gray spider.
Right. So yeah, then he like as in Luke, Hulk, he picks her up out of the destroyed like SUV or whatever, and then it like cuts to them, bumping uglies or whatever. I don't remember. Josh, take over the plot. I'm lost.
And at this point,
I'm lost. I had a good 5 minutes.
you did well. Then you did well. And I appreciate you.
Thanks, buddy.
So at this point, the professor and his wife have been taken by the bad guys, who is Zenyattop's sister, and
Bella
Zed.
is her
Bella,
name.
Bella,
Zed,
yeah,
yes.
Bella Lugosi, and they're at an airfield, like getting ready to leave. So they travel to this airfield to free them.
And I think right about now is when we cut in predictions.
Yeah, this was kind of at the point where we were like, we got 10 minutes left. We got to do this.
Right. Yeah.
So they go to rescue the two people who are being held hostage. And when I say held hostage, they were just in a room that was very separate to where everyone else and everything else was. And they were just like chilling.
Yeah.
like
I'm just
at this point,
I actually don't remember if that happened. I'm just taking this on blind faith that you're all right.
and then Bella gets in the plane, and they're all being shot at by like government agents and stuff. So Hulk and Black Widow are trying to navigate this without being shot, and they're in a plane where Bella then shoots Zed and leaves him for dead, and the plane goes out.
Yeah,
Black Widow,
why did she do that?
because she's evil, I guess.
Fair enough.
Then
Who else was on the plane though? Someone else was on the plane.
I think it was just
I
like her
was.
henchman. It was just her henchman.
Yeah, but it was someone.
No,
else
it was
they
it was the
named.
guy
It
from
was like
earlier
Chazza
who was
or something.
weird.
Yeah, Chazza or something.
Yeah.
Kasha.
Kasha. Yeah, because that's what she like. What's his face said when he was dying? He was like, or something about Chazza or Casca, whatever his name was.
Zaza.
Zaza.
Yeah. He went outside and he smelled that Zaza.
Then the plane starts chasing Black Widow, who manages to outrun it for an extended period of time before just realizing
Which is
that
a
she can...
is a regular plot point in this movie, is normal human beings outrunning vehicles.
Right.
Correct.
No, Bruce Banner does it towards a truck at one point.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah.
It was a callback.
It's a callback for our dedicated viewers.
Yeah, right. It was a deep cut. It was a deep cut to 20 minutes ago.
You know, in the
It
in
wasn't
the
even that long. This is a very short episode of this podcast.
in the biz, we like to call that an Easter egg. You know, what can I say? I'm a good writer. You know, setup, payoff, foreshadowing. These are all words.
True.
They most certainly are, Josh.
So then I said that she should have just ran to the side because field and everyone knows planes can only drive on the airstrip. They can't drive on the ground.
It would have been illegal. So I would have gone, excuse me, ma'am, we're going to have to issue you a fine for this.
The little guys with the glowing batons would have come in. They would be like, nope, go that way.
They kept going, go back.
Jerry Seinfeld from that one scene he had in Airplane where he credited as one of the guys with the batons. He would have come in and gone like, yeah, that's Jerry Seinfeld.
Huh, I never realized that.
Yeah, I don't know if I might have just made that up.
No, I think you did make that.
He looked and sounded like, I looked it up and I couldn't find any proof that he was in that movie, but he looked and sounded exactly like Jerry Seinfeld, and they called him Jerry. His character's name in the movie was Jerry.
Maybe it was just a reference.
But that's to what? That movie came out before Seinfeld was like popular. Like nobody stand-up comedian at that
When
point.
did Seinfeld come out? Google
like
it right now.
1990s. It was like 90s.
Well, this was 90.
No.
No, we're talking about Airplane. We're not talking about Death of the. We're talking about Airplane.
I'm a bad I zoned out for a minute.
Also, Seinfeld was 89 and Airplane was 1980.
Yeah, this movie came out in 1990.
I can't believe Airplane foreshadowed Seinfeld.
All right, plot breakdown, Josh. Where are we?
There's no plot breakdown.
She ducked under the airplane.
She ducked under the airplane. Hulk jumps into the airplane. It flies up in the air. Someone brings out a gun, decides to shoot the fuel from inside the plane, and then it explodes.
I didn't understand that. Maybe it's because we were like all arguing at the time over who's going to be right about how he dies.
Right.
We're almost there. So we paused it at this point, which to you guys is seconds ago, but we paused it at this point.
No, for them it's like 30 minutes ago.
It was like 30 minutes. Also, we paused it like 10 minutes earlier than this.
Right? Yeah.
Basically, what we said was, how is Hulk gonna die? And we're trying to pay off that setup.
We don't need to do a callback.
We just did a callback to nothing.
In case you forgot. In case you're
just tuning in.
Josh, what was your prediction as to how he was gonna die?
My prediction was that he was going to lose Hulk ability and then self-sacrifice.
Mine was kind of similar, not with the self-sacrifice. I thought he was just going to have some sort of radiation that got rid of his powers, like maybe whatever chemical they were developing, and then that was going to explode and hit him and also kill him.
My prediction was that he was going to fall to his death.
Right. Now
Josh,
we're plot breakdown.
Finish the plot.
So Dalton pulls a gun to shoot Hulk. He grabs the gun and like pushes it down, angles it down. The woman fires and shoots the fuel, which blows up the plane, causing a massive explosion.
Well, someone yells fuel, so I feel like they were trying to shoot. Because someone literally yells fuel, and I was like, "Oh, they're gonna do it! They're gonna blow him up!"
That's the director on set accidentally noticing.
Yeah. It was Bill Bixby.
Bill Bixby noticing that. No, it was Lou Ferrigno noticing that there's fuel leaking out of this plane.
Well, he was on it. He just said, "Phew."
Yeah, fun fact, Lou Ferrigno actually did all his own stunts.
Why does Bill Bixby sound like
Cruise.
that?
He's like Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible.
Did you hear how Dalton made Lou Ferrigno sound? He went, "Foo."
Yeah, well, Lou Ferrigno has a lisp.
He's not a caveman. he has a lisp. He doesn't go foo.
I've laughed so hard I have phlegm built up in my lungs.
I'm like sweating from how much laughing.
That's phlegm is how Lou Ferrigno says fly.
So can you reveal who won the bet here?
Whoa,
You guys both owe me $120,000.
What do you mean? I was right too.
I haven't been paid.
Josh, you owe both me and Daniel $120,000.
This is true.
It's very possible. So there's a giant explosion, and Hulk falls to his death. So it's a tie between Dalton and Daniel because they both got it right.
Right, except for Daniel said it was going to be radiation, but I'm not going to count that against him because we're both right.
I was half.
Okay, Daniel did say that. However, seconds before what happened, Dalton goes, "Oh, actually, if there's a separate explosion, it shouldn't count."
Yeah, I said if he dies from a fall and then there's an explosion, I win.
It doesn't matter.
If there's an explosion that he dies from and then he falls.
Me and Dalton both won because he exploded and he didn't die from it, but he didn't really die from the fall either. He just died on the ground after exploding and falling.
We were kind of arguing over who was going to win when both of the things happened. When he so perfectly died from both that we just kind of gave up and we both win. And now Josh owes us both $120,000.
Correct.
Do you think when Lou Ferrigno saw the explosion, he just pointed out and he went, boom?
Shut up.
He has a lisp, Josh. He's not.
Yeah, you're the one who made him sound like a caveman.
All I did was try to emulate his
lisp. You emulated his lisp by saying a word that has no S's in it.
He can't say his S's. That's his lisp.
Yeah, there's no S in
he calls it a lip.
when he said goodbye to Bill Bixby, he went, boop, but.
He calls him ill ippy.
That's fine. He's, we love you, Lou.
Shout out to Lou Ferrigno. If Lou, if you're listening, if you and your wife ever want to podcast, we got you, man. We promise we will write a script that doesn't have any S's. All right, you'll be fine.
It's called The Trial of the Incredible Hulk. Because there were no S's in that to begin with.
What?
Man, don't lost the plot so badly.
Joke there, Dalton. What?
I've never seen Dalton lose it like this. In the 6 years that I've known Dalton, I've never seen this.
All right, Josh, I need you to finish this movie, please.
That's it. The movie's finished.
The movie's done.
Oh yeah, no, he's laying in a crater. He's dead.
The Hulk dies, and then it just cuts to black.
Yeah. Oh well, no, he had a super depressing, but also kind of optimistic.
She was like, no, Bruce,
she goes, David. His name's David. He's not gay. His name's David. That's a real callback.
That's a callback to 2 episodes ago.
Okay, so she goes, David, we could have been free, and he goes, I am free. He doesn't say it like Josh said it because that was Batman.
He says, I am free.
He goes, swear to me.
He says, I am free. This is the death of the Incredible Hulk. And then he goes,
I am free, and now I know my ABC.
There's an outtake. There's an outtake that exists where it's the final scene. It's the final scene, and Bill Bixby is going. He goes. I am free.
Josh, shut up. There's no joke you can make that would be better than the one Daniel already made. There's not a chance you can top it.
No, there's no chance. But I've already insulted Lou Ferrigno twice, so I might as well go for it. So there's a outtake for this movie where Bill Bixby says, I am free, and then off screen you hear Lou Ferrigno go, me free. God. I just want to say, like, me and Dalton have been doing this podcast for what, 2 years total, 3 years?
Too long.
If you count our original podcast,
if we count
like 5,
if we count the original, it's been like at least 3 years. First off, I've never seen Dalton lose it like this. Second off, I've never seen a podcast episode as chaotic as the one that we've had. Not just this episode, but the Return of the Incredible Hulk 1 too, where it devolved into me and Dalton just listing words that start with L in an attempt to poke fun at Lou Ferrigno's name.
Honestly, this whole Hulk sweep has just been just the worst. I don't know why, but these Lou Ferrigno Hulk movies, they just do something to me.
They bring something out in us. I don't know what
they break me. I don't understand.
They break us down to Lou Ferrigno's level.
Maybe it's because we started recording immediately after we watched them with these. Do you think that's it?
But we've been doing that with everything for like a while now, haven't we?
No, I mean, sort of.
We started with Stuart Little, but it's been everything since then.
But Stuart Little was like a one-off, and then we kind of went back to the regular flow. And then with these, we decided like we're gonna do that regularly.
No, I swear, with everything since Stuart Little, we've.
Yeah, but everything since Stuart Little has been a Shyamalan movie.
No, it hasn't. What do you mean?
How many?
Stuart Little wasn't. The Shyamalan sweep was pre-Stuart Little. It was Yogi Bear and Garfield that we watched then, and the environmental tune thing.
Maybe it's
She-Hulk is damaged on.
Yeah, She-Hulk. Bro saw She-Hulk twerking once and lost it.
I don't know.
Daniel, there were women who were writing their own show and they made her twerk.
You're right. I'm sorry.
They put Meg the Stallion twerking.
I can't believe they put Megan the Stallion in this movie.
That made me laugh so hard I farted.
All right, everyone. We gotta.
Yeah, this is over now. Can we
gotta
go home?
We gotta close this thing out. I think the Incredible Hulk. I think the death of the Incredible Hulk
can't even finish his sentence.
I think the death of the Incredible Hulk is horrible, and I hated every second of it, except for the scenes that I liked, which were few and far between. It was no trial. If you're gonna watch one of this trilogy, the 70s Hulk movie, 90s trilogy, watch Trial. Because Trial is so genuinely good. And Daniel said before we started, he was like, I wonder if we liked that one because it was better than the rest or because it had Daredevil in it. And I didn't believe him at first, but now I'm starting to think he was right.
I said that. I don't think I said that. I think Josh was asking what made it stand out so much, and I just
I was asking like I wonder if Trial was the outlier then. Like, what made it better than the other ones? And you guys reaffirmed that it was Daredevil.
But like the story feels so much more grounded and good in that one. I take that back. This one is very grounded.
The story was pretty grounded in this. Like the story wasn't.
The story wasn't the issue.
It was a little bit, but it wasn't the concept of the story. It was how little it explained. Like
it wasn't that the story was bad.
We didn't know the villain's motivation until like 10 minutes till the end of the movie.
Right. The story in this movie wasn't necessarily bad, as much as nothing happens in this movie and it's horribly boring. And this might be my least favorite of the three, because at least the other two offer something interesting. This one really kind of offers nothing. And
by something interesting, you mean Daredevil and Thor, right?
I mean, they did interesting things with the characters in those two. And David Banner's name in the Thor one was David Bangin'. That was interesting.
That's pretty interesting.
There's interesting
carrot cake, though. That was pretty interesting.
There was carrot cake.
Shout out to carrot cake.
That's
and
facts.
It also was a rock, but shout out to the Rock.
Johnson.
This is an early Black Adam crossover.
You think we could get Dwayne Johnson on the podcast?
Yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna DM him on Instagram. I think he'll answer me. He seems
chill.
We should play
Fortnite.
Yeah, I'll be like, you seem chill. We should play Fortnite sometime.
Daniel,
I think he'll respond.
Make one of your patented Instagram reels, but with this segment of the podcast.
Can we just?
I will. This whole episode
real quick
Instagram reel.
Real quick, can we just shout out Zach Ward for actually replying to stupid DM really kindly and being like an absolute top.
Zach Ward, absolute top gent, top chap. Shout out to that guy.
I don't know what's happening.
Then Daniel sent Zach Ward, the star of Postal, the movie.
Yes,
a DM, like a dumb DM saying, "Hey."
Christmas Story. He's the bully from Christmas Story. That's probably what you know him from.
I haven't seen Christmas Story because I'm not a nerd.
He's in Freddy vs. Jason.
Hold on. You haven't seen Christmas Story?
No, I have.
You're bullshitting me.
I have seen Christmas Story. I just don't like Christmas Story. I've seen it like once.
Why? That's a classic Christmas film.
Yeah. Anyway, regardless, I would
not. I'm sorry, you're dead inside, Dalton. Get out of here.
I would not.
Anyway, shout out to Zach Ward. Do not watch this movie.
Star of A Christmas Story. He played the bully. Yeah. That's what you would know him from.
Yeah, star of the Postal movie. Shout out to Uwe Boll while we're at it.
I did not support that one.
Yeah, no, I'm lying. Don't shout out.
Don't watch Uwe Boll.
Yeah, no.
The only good thing Uwe Boll did was he challenged his critics to a boxing match and then just beat the shit out of them.
I'm going into convulsions. I can't keep doing this.
That's not something that I support, but it is extremely funny.
Can we?
That is.
Can we end this? I think we all would not recommend this movie, and we all hate it. Is that correct?
I think so. Yeah. That being said, this was one of the most fun episodes we've ever recorded. So
that's true. So I guess
I would recommend watching this movie if you have a podcast exactly like ours, and you're gonna watch it and then talk about it.
If you and your friends are deeply disturbed,
if you guys are like as severely autistic as us, then watch this movie and record a podcast on it. Why not?
All right, you heard it here first. Start your own podcast simply to watch the death of the Incredible Hulk. We'll see you on the very next episode of Semi Pro.
Yeah. Man.
God, that was insane.